Greetings, YouTube. My glasses are back, so once again I can see clearly. It's quite wonderful. And they're a low glare lens, so there's not a whole lot of reflection from my screen. Much better than my safety glasses. There's an organization on the internet at the moment known as the National Organization on Marriage, which sounds benign. It just sounds a very friendly kind of organization, but it more properly should be called the National Organization for Bigotry, because this organization is attempting to endorse marriage as being something only for a man and a woman. And they've been splashing flash ads all over the internet. And the ones that I've been seeing lately have had to do with Governor Lynch. My governor. Because Lynch is in a position at the moment where he's agreed to sign the Same-Sex Marriage Act so long as there are provisions put into it allowing churches to be bigots. And as I've said in the past, let the church be bigots. They'll just be ignored by people who aren't bigots and will either change their tune or close their doors as their membership dwindles to nothing. This organization is perpetuating bigotry. It's very simple. I've contacted them twice so far. Yesterday I asked how they can live with themselves. Because what they're doing isn't helping America, isn't helping marriage in any way, shape, or form, and definitely isn't helping the gay community. And I've yet to hear an argument that opposes same-sex marriage that didn't boil down to, eventually, to the concept that my holy book said it's bad. Now, if your holy book tells you it's bad, I'm not going to argue with your holy book. I'm not going to argue with your right to believe your holy book. I'm not going to argue with your right to express your opinion that you think it's bad because your holy book said it's bad. Congratulations. But if you don't believe in same-sex marriage, because of your holy book or for any other reason, don't marry someone of the same gender. That's it. That's your involvement. But if someone else wants to marry someone of the same gender, get out of the way. You don't need to be involved. You've stated you don't approve. Cool. I'm listening. I'm done now. Move on. You don't need to try to make everyone else in the nation conform to your narrow-minded worldview, because that's what you're attempting to do. You're attempting to impose the codes that you've taken from your holy book onto everyone around you. And last time I checked, at least in the books, we still have separation of church and state. You don't get to impose your religious worldview upon every other American just because you'd like to. Now, the court yesterday supported the Proposition 8 vote. And it can be said that a court's job, any court, is to uphold the Constitution. And in that regard, the court may very well have had no choice but to support the Proposition 8 vote. Because, unfortunately, in California, people get to vote on what amendments go into their Constitution, which is farking insane. It shouldn't be involved. Heck, in California, you need a 2/3 majority on a vote to raise a modest tax revenue increase. But so long as you get 51% of the bigots in the state, funded, I should point out, by out-of-state Mormons, then you can change the Constitution. You can put bigotry into law. And riding that coattail is this organization, the National Organization on Marriage. They're attempting to get bigotry put into law, to be codified. Not to be some subtle, implied form of bigotry, but to actually have it put into code, into the actual fabric of our legislature. How twisted is that? How weak must your belief in marriage be for you to think that you have to do that? Because my marriage isn't impacted by this at all. How can my marriage be impacted by this at all? If two people love each other, and I don't give a crap what their gender is, how does that negatively affect my marriage? Guess what? It doesn't. And it shouldn't impact anyone else's. And I've actually heard Republican politicians stand up and say that they felt that gay marriage would negatively impact their marriage. And guess what, folks? Get divorced, because your marriage sucks. A strong marriage, a healthy marriage, isn't going to be impacted by anybody. Whether they're married, they're single, they're divorced, they're widowed, doesn't matter. Nothing is going to impact the health of your relationship, except you and your partner. So I'd really love if this national organization on marriage would get their asses out of my state. Stick their noses into their own relationships, poke around within their own community, and decide, maybe we should work on trying to strengthen our relationships rather than trying to tear down other people's, trying to prevent people who love each other from having the bond of marriage.